You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast
You realize what you've done?
with Rich Liebing
A real gangster plays his cards right.
and Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for a live episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you some interesting tidbits in the world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right. We bring it to you with our unique sense of humor and wackiness. You never know what you're going to get here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. You never know what exactly is going to happen here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We are live for tonight's episode, so thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to do this one by the seat of our pants because,
I mean, we always do.
we always do.
This one even more so.
But this one is literally happening live right now on Facebook Live, so for all of our fans tuning in, yes, this is live. Hi, how you doing?
Unscripted, unplanned.
Yep, and slightly unhinged. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. We've got some interesting news topics to get to in the world of sports, entertainment, and odd news. But before we get into that, Mikey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, doing good. This past weekend was a kind of a big milestone because it was the first time I saw my extended family since, what was it, like the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
So a long time, almost about a full year. And it was fantastic seeing everybody again and being able to hang out. You know, the whole fam is, fully vaccinated. So we were
everything
able to
coming
get
back to
together.
normal.
Yeah. It was great. We were getting together to celebrate some of my younger cousins' birthdays. So just being able to be together, hang out, have a cookout, and enjoy the weather together was awesome. I also had a chance to catch up on some video games.
Yes, video game review time.
Of course, as always. So of course I've been playing through the Mass Effect Remastered trilogy.
Yes.
Still fantastic. But I also finished Little Nightmares 2, which is this short indie horror game. You play as it's a puzzle platformer. It's a terribly terrifying. The whole gimmick is you're this small child trying to escape these like huge grotesque adult-like figures. Like imagine like Charlie Brown was like a horror show and like the weird voiced adults were like these gangly Gumby-like looking out of proportion figures. For example, there's a schoolhouse level where you have to escape the schoolhouse. Every kid wants to escape school, but the teacher has this neck that extends like a snake. And so the level is you're trying to creep around the environment while this head on this long snake-like neck is like following you around. And it's just so unsettling the way that they represent these characters and these figures. It's so uneasy. But it was really, really fun. And I enjoy the fact that it's all 2D platforming and puzzle-based.
Mike, between this and Bug Snacks, you're really going off the deep end with these video games.
I like the weird games. So you tried Bug Snacks. You were over a week or two ago. You played Bug Snacks. So now you know the type of weirdness that I'm into.
That was some...
come on. You love the bunger. Everybody loves the bunger.
I think you need to have some pot with you with that game in order to understand that one. Because literally
wild.
The game is you eat things.
You eat...
You catch things and then you eat them.
You catch these bugs that look like food, and you eat the bugs that look like food.
That was the whole point of that game.
Yeah, and then you turn.
So literally, it's based on the munchies.
Yes, I think the developers were all really high when they were making that game.
Yeah.
Because you catch there's like a little spider that looks like a burger, and you eat the burger spider, and then the characters turn into.
That's also
French fries.
appropriate since you're wearing a Spider-Man shirt right now.
Oh yeah. I don't know if anybody. Nope.
Yeah, can you see it in the? Yeah, you can. Maybe you stand up there you go. You can see it in the frame. There you go. So
Spider-Man.
Yeah. So you just need to put a burger on that.
I just need to get. What I need to do is I need to eat a hamburger and just drip some grease and ketchup on my shirt.
Spider burger. Spider burger.
Does whatever a burger can do.
Yeah. It'll move around. You can eat it. It does everything. It's a spider burger. Look out.
It does everything. It's a spider burger.
Here comes Spider Burger.
So
We got to work on the theme music.
yeah, we're gonna talk to the in-house musicians, the
Yeah.
Crispy Noodle musicians. So
Yeah.
that's what I was doing. What have you been up to, Rich?
So the thing that I would like to do a personal thing on is I finally got to watch Christopher Nolan's latest movie,
Oh.
Tenet.
Did that come out on HBO
Yes.
Max?
Yep.
Oh my god, I completely missed that.
Yep.
How was it?
I'm gonna say that visually it is amazing, especially with the whole time warp element that you
Okay.
can reverse time.
Okay.
And it's interesting because the movie kind of it replays like scenes backwards, but then I was watching like the featurette afterwards,
Yeah.
and apparently David John Washington, I think that's his name, the lead actor. He actually learned the choreographed fights regularly and then reversed.
Oh.
Like they didn't reverse the film. Like he actually acted the fight scenes
So,
in reverse.
Christopher Nolan is known for using a lot of practical effects and
Yeah.
you know, so is that part of that style of filmmaking where they're like,
Yes.
we're not going to reverse it, we need you to learn it in reverse?
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yes.
I've always liked that
So-
about Nolan.
So visually, it's amazing, and tidbits like that it makes you just want to give a standing ovation to the actors.
Story wise,
Story wise,
I feel like there's a but here. I feel like there's a heavy-hearted but.
there is.
Okay.
I think he missed the boat when it came to the story.
Is Nolan getting too high on his own supply? Has he
Maybe.
gone the Tarantino route?
This story? I feel bad because this could have been a really neat, fleshed out universe.
Okay.
But you know, this is one of those things where I think it would have been better as a mini series if he could have taken the time to flesh out some of the rules in this universe and make it like a 4 or 5 episode mini series,
Yeah.
because he crams it into 2.5 hours, and
It needed more space.
yeah, and by the time you get to the third act of the movie, you're kind of wondering, like, there's like a big war kind of thing that happens, and you're like, why is there like the story kind of, I don't want to give too much away, but
right.
the majority of the movie deals with like 3 or 4 central characters, right? And how they're trying to use this power to manipulate time forwards and backwards. But then the third act involves like a big army, and like they storm a base. And I don't know, somewhere along the line, I lost the ball. Like I didn't jump from this to going to the grand scale.
One of the critiques of Christopher Nolan has always been his very loose handling of plot. Like, he's really good at concepts.
Yes.
Like the concept of
Yes.
Inception, the concept of Interstellar. But Inception's literally about stopping a power monopoly. I think it was a gas or oil company from becoming a monopoly. Like, everybody forgets like
it was
that
an energy.
an energy company. It was like that was the inciting incident, and that is always lost. And Interstellar and some of Nolan's other movies outside of Batman, you lose the thread because he gets so caught up in that high concept of, you know, the time and reality and dimensions and stuff like that. That's sort of like it. So is this really succumbing to that more so than the other ones, where he's so focused on the concept that the plot just becomes secondary?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah, the plot
He's
is
been
very
he's been trending in that direction.
is very convoluted,
He's been trending in that direction.
and it's a shame. I felt like this could have been an A+ movie, but it kind of just loses its way, especially when it transitions from the end of the second act to the third act. You're just like, wait, why is this all of a sudden like all of a sudden like the stakes unnecessarily get elevated, and it's like, whoa, okay.
That's a shame. I know nothing about Tenet,
Yeah.
so I try not to look at too much about Nolan's films before they come out because I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. I've loved every single one of his movies that have come out.
Yeah, every movie that I've seen
love
of his is fantastic.
Insomnia, Memento,
Prestige. Always one forgets about Prestige.
You know, I love Inception.
Obviously, yeah.
Inception, I still think is
That's a top 10 for me.
Yeah, I think it's a damn masterpiece.
Yeah.
But this one, I think he kind of may have lost his way a little bit in this one.
You know,
So-
I was just having this conversation the other day about Quentin Tarantino, that Tarantino, I feel, has lost his way, and I'm worried that Nolan is, and I'm worried that
well,
Nolan's losing his
so-
way too.
So here's something with Tarantino, though. He says he only wants to do 10 films. Do you think he's going to stick by that?
I don't know. I mean, he'll stick with whatever gets him the most press because he's an egomaniac narcissist.
Yeah, he is.
But-
But do you think he said that before? He says he only wants to do 10 films. Do you think he's going to hold? Which, by the way,
I mean,
that
this
means
is
he only
10
has
coming
one
up.
more.
Yeah.
That means he only has one more.
Hypothetically, it's the long rumored Kill Bill 3,
Yeah,
which I don't know if you want to go out on Kill Bill 3,
yeah.
a threequel to something, but I
Trilogy,
don't know,
threequel. You made up a word.
I can make up words if I
Yeah,
want to. A
this
threequel.
is the Crispy Noodle podcast. You can do whatever you
You can
want.
do whatever we damn well please.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I couldn't care less what Tarantino does so long as his movies get good again.
Okay.
Because, to be honest, Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood were not two of my favorites of his.
Okay.
Anyway,
So there you
that's-
go. That was a quick review of Tenet. I got to see it over the weekend.
We had like a movie
I
dissertation
know,
in there,
right?
too.
And, yeah, we didn't even get to entertainment news yet, but oh well. I jumped ahead. So you know what? How about we need to get back on track here? So let's do the items that we do have planned. We have a couple topics that revolve in sports. It's time for the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
In your face! Ha ha!
Sports coming at you in your face. And we're going to hit a couple topics in 2 minutes or less with the 2-minute drill. When the buzzer goes off, that's it. We have to move on. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right, 2 minutes on the clock. Go. What do you have,
All
Mike?
right, this week in the 2-minute drill, we have a little bit of football news. NFL great kicker Adam Vinatieri officially retires after 24 seasons. He makes the announcement on the Pat McAfee show.
I thought that was funny because they were teammates.
They were for a brief stint, weren't they?
Yeah.
But Adam
Kicker
Vinatieri,
and punter.
kicker and punter, yeah. So I mean, both operating in the same wheelhouse kind of thing. But Vinatieri retires from the NFL as the all-time leader in points, even after not playing the 2020 season. So I mean, he's one of the all-time greats. 48 years old, finally hanging up 4 Super Bowl wins, and long stints in both New England and Indianapolis. This ends what will probably be a Hall of Fame career for Vinatieri.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he goes down as one of the best kickers in NFL history.
And I mean, he did it for 24 seasons.
Yeah. How about that?
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. A quarter of a century.
Yeah.
He didn't get hurt, or we got hurt towards the end, but that's it. So,
But still, 24 seasons, 4 Super Bowls, all-time leader in points. I don't know if he'll be able to hold
Well-deserved.
on to that, but yeah, well-deserved. Fantastic career. Wish him the best. Can't wait to see him inducted in 5 years' time. I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But another player who will eventually be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers, is still beefing with Green Bay. Can you guys believe this?
it's still happening.
The saga continues. He's suggesting now that the organization may have lost its way. In a recent interview,
Yeah.
kind of critical of the organization in general.
Yeah.
This is getting like ugly. They're like airing dirty laundry.
He gave this interview, and it was supposed to be a general statement about organizations and teams, but come on, you know this was directed at the Packers.
Right.
So this doesn't seem good.
You got to read between the lines.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but the more and more this drags on, the more it looks like he has played his last down for the Green Bay Packers.
Man.
There you go. Buzzer has sounded. That is the end of the 2-minute drill.
The buzzer could be sounding on Aaron Rodgers' time with the Packers. It can
appropriate.
also be sounding on Julio Jones's time with the Atlanta Falcons. This wild report, Rich, that the Falcons might be without their huge wide receiver playmaker in 2021 after Julio Jones accidentally reveals
Yeah.
that he
Hold
wants...
on. This is 2 separate stories. We
there-
got to break this into 2 separate stories.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah. So first off, this was always kind of a rumor going on since the draft that Julio Jones was on the trading block. He's their top paid wide receiver, and the Falcons are in a very big salary cap crunch.
Yep. They
So-
have, can I give the number?
Go ahead.
$350,000 under the cap. So not-
$350,000. That's it.
in terms of NFL salaries, that's not even like half of
You
one.
don't get to make any moves
No.
if you're going to stay at that cap.
No, that's nothing.
You get no moves.
Yeah. So they're in dire straits. You were saying.
Yes. So this had always kind of been a rumor that if they want to clear some salary cap, that this would be the most logical way. You got to get rid of one of these players that are draining so much cap space.
And you're not going to get rid of Ryan.
And you're not going to get rid of Matt Ryan, apparently, because they didn't draft a quarterback in the draft this year. So that was kind of rumored and murmured throughout the draft in the last couple of weeks. That's not too much of a surprise. It'll be a shock when it happens because Julio Jones has been the face of that franchise for so long.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been rumored, so that's not really the shocking part. The shocking part is that this news that it was definite suddenly came out on Undisputed, a morning show on Fox Sports featuring Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless.
I mean, two boneheads.
Definitely Skip Bayless. Oh, yeah, he's a Cowboy lover. But here's what happened. While they were talking about the future of Julio Jones, Shannon Sharpe got so frustrated that he just pulled out his phone and dialed Julio Jones' cell phone number directly on the set and put it on speakerphone so that he could pick it up in his lapel mic.
Yeah.
And they were talking to him. So this didn't go through like a producer or anything like that.
Right.
He just did it on the fly live on TV.
Right. There was no handlers involved. There was no PR, no producers, nothing from either side. This was just Shannon calling Julio Jones.
Right. And that's when that they were talking, and when they said, how about going back to Atlanta? And he murmured instinctively, he murmured, oh, I'm out of there. And then he realized what was happening, and he said, oh, well, I just want to play for a winner. So, but it's too late at that point. The cat is out of the bag. He pretty much just let it out that he's done in Atlanta. There's no hope that he's coming back to the Falcons. So that splits off into two different things. Obviously, we're going to talk about where he could go, but on a legal note, whoa, that is, I worked for a morning radio show. You cannot do that on any sort of live media and not tell the guy that he is on the air and what he says is going to be on the record.
Yeah.
You have to notify him before you do that.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
And according to now Chris Sims, Julio Jones was, quote, unaware that he was on the live broadcast, which opens up legal trouble for this show. This is crazy. I can't believe how much this has spiraled out of control.
Right. Yeah, because if anything negative happens to Julio Jones now in terms of this trade, like he loses leverage or
he can sue Fox Sports.
He can sue them if
that's liability and damages.
Yeah. I mean, it was such a bonehead. When you first texted me this, I was like, how does he not know he's live? He's in the studio. They have a recorded call. I didn't realize that Shannon Sharpe literally just made a phone call and held it up to his lapel mic.
That would be like if I'm talking like this to everyone, I don't know, Emmanuel Akko, I know him.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Emmanuel,
let's call him up.
Yeah, like, hey, how you doing? Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
So, one,
I know him, but I'm not doing that.
So we'll start off with the ridiculousness. One, super inappropriate and super unprofessional for Shannon Sharpe to do that and put Julio Jones in that position, which I feel bad for Julio Jones that he was caught off guard like that and like let the cat out of the bag, and now he's like, it's damage control on all sides to like try and correct this. But back to the football, he says he's out of there. Is he out of there? Do you see the Falcons trading him?
Yes.
I think June 2nd is going to be a wild day.
Yes.
Because
next week's podcast is going to be crazy.
It's going to be wild. We talked already about Rodgers. We're talking about Julio Jones. One of the rumors floated, and you suggested this to me. I saw some headlines.
I saw
some headlines that were very misleading. I got to take issue with reporters, the way they frame these headlines, because they're all phrased as Green Bay trades Jordan Love to Falcons for Julio Jones.
In fantasy.
In fantasy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. They always tack on in fantasy at the end. So the rumor, of course, Jordan Love for Julio Jones and picks.
It's not going to happen. That would be way too simple for it to happen. But that would be a very clean way for Green Bay to get out of its situation, but it's not going to happen.
I don't understand how, if they don't have the money for Rodgers wants guaranteed money, how people envision Green Bay trading for Julio Jones.
Yeah, you would have to ask Julio Jones for a pay cut then. Somebody's got to take a pay cut.
Or Rodgers would have to be okay with not being signed with huge guaranteed money. So it doesn't solve the problem. It solves one part of the problem, that you get rid of the heir apparent. It solves it for Rodgers, not for the Packers. It only kicks the can down the road for the Packers.
Yeah.
I don't like this rumor. I don't see this happening. I think it's more likely that I don't know. I don't like that. I can see
No.
Julio Jones going to one of these teams with massive open cap space. Jags, Jets, Broncos.
Is it the one I texted you?
Which one is the one you texted?
Oh, Billy Boy.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, wouldn't it be a Bill Belichick move right now to call the Atlanta Falcons and be like, you know what? I'll take Julio Jones off your hands.
The man is on a vendetta.
Yes.
He got shown up last season, and he is pissed. He literally spent like a king's ransom in signing free agents this past season.
Yep.
So,
And guess what? He still got $15 million in cap space.
isn't that interesting? The
Yeah.
exact
Isn't
amount
that
that Julio
interesting?
Jones would cost.
The same amount?
You're like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Old Billy Boy.
Old Billy Boy. I also think, we talked about the Broncos being in play for Rodgers. What if the Broncos try to swing for Rodgers and then maybe also try to lure over Julio Jones?
That would be insane if they landed both. That would prop them right up to Super Bowl favorites. I
That
think.
would problem up to Super Bowl. Or maybe somebody like the Jets or Jags goes and gets Julio Jones to pair with their young quarterbacks. I mean, there's so many options available here.
Yeah.
You
It's gonna. I think it's just gonna come down to which one gives the Falcons the best bang for their buck in the trade.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a very interesting June 2nd, though.
Yes. Next week's podcast.
Because I really think that both of these deals, I think Rodgers and Jones, more likely than not, moving on June 2nd.
next week's podcast could be very interesting. It might have to be all sports if all these players go at once on June 2nd.
It could happen.
Yeah. So something to keep in mind after Memorial Day, after you're done your burgers and everything like that. That June 1st cap designation is going to be
Yep.
interesting. All right, now it's time to get to the thing that I want to talk about. Yay! It's time to talk about golf. Woo! Yay! Talk about some golf.
That's right. The PGA Championship happened.
Yes, it did.
It's a thing that happens in golf, apparently, every year. And Rich has all the details for us.
Yes. Well, there's this we got to just talk about right off the bat. Phil Mickelson, old lefty, he did it. He absolutely did it. He is now the oldest man to win a major golf tournament at the age of 50.
I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50. 50 years old.
There you go. That was what he said marching up to the green.
I'm 50.
That was the audio taken right from the green on the 18th. That was
Wow.
perfect right there.
I'm 50. 50 years old.
Yes.
He sounds like a woman.
Hey, you know what? Doesn't matter. He's the PGA champion.
That's right. He's 50 and he's the PGA champion.
50
so
years old.
that's impressive.
50. I don't think you. I know it's golf. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, golf isn't that extensive of
No.
a sport.
No,
And
look,
da-da-da-da-da.
I wake up in the morning and my back and my knees hurt. So for him to go out and do this at 50, that's impressive.
I'm just going to dive right forward.
Okay.
Rich Eisen, I absolutely agree with Rich Eisen. He calls this is the sports story of the 21st century.
Okay. That's
Between-
a big statement.
Between this, Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl this year,
Yeah.
2021 is the year that shows age is no longer a ceiling.
I think we've gotten to the point where the thing that was, the reason why age was a cap before is because sports science and sports medicine hadn't really perfected the art of rehabbing. Back in the day, they thought that drinking water made you weak. So we've gotten to the point where we're able to tend to our players better, keep them
Much better.
healthier longer, recover from injuries easier. The surgical procedures and fitness and conditioning is a lot better. So yeah, we're starting to see players like Brady and Mickelson just dominate their respective fields well into their 40s and 50s. This could be, I think there's still the exception, but maybe we see a slightly larger percentage of people playing into those years because we just talked about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to be 38,
Yeah.
and he's not really slowing down. So
Right.
we might see another 40-plus-year-old quarterback. That used to be a rarity. You get over 35 in football, you're like, why haven't you hung it up?
Yeah.
Now it's like, just keep going. And now, obviously, in golf, 50 years old, that's, as far as I know, one of the oldest, quote-unquote, champions in any sport. I can't think of any player in any sport, older.
No,
right?
no. And
I mean, certainly not in football. Certainly not in basketball.
And it's one thing to compete in the world of the PGA and golf,
Right.
but this is another deal. He won.
Yeah.
He showed up. All the young guys that are bombing. Bryson DeChambeau, all right, Mr. Bodybuilder, and known for his long drives and his bombs and everything like that. Who had the longest drive this weekend? Phil Mickelson did. He bombed a 366-yard drive on the 16th hole on Sunday.
Wow. That's impressive.
On Sunday. This wasn't at the beginning.
This was
at the
after
end,
like 3 or 4 days of golf.
when everybody is getting tired and the number of holes are starting to catch up to your body. Phil Mickelson with his sunglasses just march up. Boop, pew, 366-yard drive down the fairway. Suck on that, all you youngsters. You think my time is up?
I love how passionate you're getting, but you're right.
It's crazy. This is bonkers.
Second place was Brooks Koepka, and he's 20 years his younger.
Yeah.
So you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, he's not just being competitive with the young guys. He's besting people who are 20 years his younger. You're right.
Yeah. This is why I'm telling you, I think a lot of people just kind of poo-poo that, oh, it's golf. It's not that physically exhausting. When you get to 70 holes straight that you've played on your 4th consecutive day, and he doesn't break a sweat launching a 366-yard drive down the fairway, that's amazing at 50 years old. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it. I agree with Rich Eisen. This is the sports story of the 21st century. Age is no longer an excuse. This is the era we live in now. If you can play at 50, go for it.
Yeah, it's interesting, but Rich Eisen and the two Riches, Rich Eisen and Rich Liebig, make great points that this age is no longer a ceiling theme. I mean, that could be the case. I mean, Brady's not slowing down. Rogers isn't slowing down. Clearly, Mickelson is still competing at the top of the golf world.
Yep. He just had his sun. The best part is he kept his sunglasses on the entire time. Like he was like Top Gun or something.
That's the secret power, is the sunglasses.
And yeah, he was just. And
maybe if the other guys put their sunglasses on, the light wouldn't, the sun wouldn't blind them.
And he's just marching through. I just remember vividly watching that tournament, 16, 17, and 18, the crowds gathering. You think like, oh my God, maybe it's starting to, like the pressure of it starting to weigh on him. No, he was just marching down. Pew, pew, pew. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Pew, pew, pew. Like he just.
Well, there's something to be said about age and having that experience.
Yeah,
and
carefree.
Exactly.
Carefree, and he knew that he was in control, and it was his tournament to lose, and he didn't.
Yeah.
It was masterful and appropriate for a guy like Phil Mickelson. The oldest man to win a major golf tournament happened this weekend. The age of 50. You got to salute it.
I'm 50. 50 years old.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm 50.
Saying that all throughout the championship celebrations. But that's not the only story from the PGA Championship.
Okay.
Because while we're doing this dive into golf, I want to bring up something completely petty that I found out, and this is amazing, and I love it. I retweeted this, so if you want to go check this out, go to my Twitter account at Rich Liebig. But there was an outtake that was leaked from the PGA Championships. What they do is they interview the golfers, pre-round, post-round,
right,
all this stuff. So they had this outtake from Brooks Koepka. And you can clearly see in this video, he is annoyed that Bryson DeChambeau is near his shot, like in like the actual frame of the shot. And then they start talking about how the greens were a little bit rougher than he would have liked or something.
Okay.
And he said he didn't know if the other players felt that way, but he felt that way. And DeChambeau whispers off screen, well, you need to line your putts better. And walks through his shot, and he is visibly upset.
Wow.
And he actually says like, he's a bunch of BS. And I love the fact that apparently this is an actual legit weird rivalry that has happened between Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay.
These two young guns. They apparently don't like each other. And there's a full-blown article that I also retweeted as well. So if you want to check that out, this is actually a legit history that they kind of have a little bit of a beef going on back and forth.
Why?
I think it's
What's
kind.
the problem?
I think it's like styles, like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I think it's
Okay.
a little bit of
Which I
differences.
understand that reference now that I watched Dark Side of the Ring, the first
Yes.
that episode.
Very good. I think Brooks Koepka is more like the Bret Hart. Like he wants to learn all the intricacies and as much as he can about the world of golf and how he can constantly improve his game and stuff like that.
Right.
Bryson DeChambeau is
Is
a
the heel.
He's a bodybuilder and he wants to show off his long drive and he's a little bit more.
He's like Flash.
Yeah, he's a little bit more flash. He's got the six pack. Like he's a legit weightlifter. Like he's no joke. I would not want to take him on in a fight. He actually has muscle. For him being a golfer, he's got some muscle. You don't want to get into a fight with him. But nevertheless, apparently these two are butting heads constantly in the last couple of years or so on the PGA Tour. And I just want to say, if golf wants to capitalize on this culture, they got to do something where they put them in like match play or something. They need to do something with this.
Look, you need something to liven it up a little bit to keep people from dozing off, right? This is what you do. Rich, you go to the PGA, you pitch them the idea of WWE-style storylines. You use the Bret Hart and the Shawn Michaels analogy. Make it happen. Have these guys do little promos against each other. Have them face off in a one-on-one. Like, that would be exciting.
They got to do something or maybe
got to capitalize.
Or at least do this. Just hear me out. The next one's the U.S. Open. Maybe at the U.S. Open, pair them together. I don't care. Thursday. Do it on Thursday when the rankings aren't the leaderboard.
Do it when
on Thursday.
No, do it at the end where all the stakes are on the line. I want to see it really come to a head.
That would be well. See, the problem is by the time you do that, then it's based on the leaderboard and where they pair that.
No.
But do it on Thursday where you can say they're all random. Wink, wink, and pair them together. That could be a reality show. These two have to play a round of golf together.
Like I said, you got to do something to liven it up. The PGA would be wise to listen to you.
I'm telling you got to capitalize on this.
You're right. They do. They have some real drama, behind the scenes drama here that they need to bring to the forefront.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this part too. So I made a note, metal spikes on golf cleats. Apparently Bryson DeChambeau is one of the few golfers that insists on wearing old-time metal spikes on his golf cleats. And apparently that alone also annoys Brooks Koepka because apparently it makes like a jingle when he walks.
What? So Brooks Koepka just
literally
hates Bryson just being around him. He just hates his existence. He just hates.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about this? I'm going to frame this a different way.
I love that. That's great.
Is there anybody that I guess not specifically, but is there anybody that I don't know, maybe at work or something that no matter what they do, they just annoy you, And
I've known a few people throughout my 32 years on this
it's not
planet.
even something
No, just their presence.
Yeah.
Just their presence. Somebody will walk into a room and I'll be like, I'll just give them that narrow side eye. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Literally.
Everybody has that person. Everybody has that person.
Yeah. So I love this story that has come out from the PGA Championship.
They hate each other so much. This is amazing. The PGA needs to make this a WWE style storyline.
Yeah, they should do something.
This would be right up your alley. They get a title belt.
Yeah,
they
throw in a title belt.
They do the little promos against each other. They have them golf head to head. See, that's the type of stuff I want to see in golf. Not these boring pomp and circumstance championships. I want to see some reality TV. Okay, I want to see some really low class, trashy, drag out all the dirty laundry, throw it all over the lawn.
I've had enough of your metal cleats.
I've had enough of your metal cleats. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what the people want to see.
Yeah.
That's what the people want to see when it comes to golf. They don't want to see the prim and proper. They want to see the trash.
So there you go. I want to beg and plead on the PGA.
We're going to send the PGA a message. Dear Mr. PGA.
The U.S. Open, You have no excuse on Thursday because Thursdays they're supposed to be random. So the Thursday of the U.S.
Are you
Open.
advocating fixing the ranking, Rich?
Yes.
Or the pairing? Wow.
Yes.
That's some shady stuff.
You would get eyeballs.
It's true. You would.
Thursday.
You would.
The Thursday of the U.S. Open. Pair them together just to see if they like explode at each other. I've had enough of your metal cleats. Like
You just hear the little jingling, ching, ching, ching.
yeah.
Brooks Koepka just snaps a golf club over his knee.
Yeah, I had enough
Just
of this.
loses it.
Yes. So there you go, Mike. Hey, if you cultivate it right, it could be the next big golf rivalry. Why not?
There you go. I
not?
say make it happen, PGA.
So there you go. That's my 2 cents. That's what I would do if I was in charge. But unfortunately, I'm not. So I'm pleading. But that's what I would. That's what I would go with. All right, there you go. So I got my golf fill in, and Mike got his football fill in. So that means we are done the sports sampler. But don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment and the non-fortune cookie odd news still to come. We will be right back. Don't you go anywhere. If you go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
That clip is already coming into play.
yes,
I love
already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on? That was
I don't
weird.
know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the
I
hell?
don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Basically, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart
and-
once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then
Yeah.
Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder.
Oh.
I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Ooh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. We're going to talk about 22-year-old Matthew Kyle Letham, and he decided to call police at 4:45 in the morning because he couldn't find a ride home after the bar at 4:45 in the morning. But that is not the actual oddity of this story. Police encountered Matthew Letham on the scene, and that's when they noted that this dude actually has a tattoo of the state of Florida in between his two eyebrows.
Oh my God.
Yes, and I have his mugshot. So here we go.
He's literally Florida Man.
Yes.
He's like a superhero Florida Man, and that is like his logo.
He is Mr. Florida Man. So
I mean, you know, it's the most harmless Florida story we've ever had.
yeah, except for the fact that dude has a tattoo
stupid.
that will last the rest of his life that he cannot hide.
You cannot undo that. Every job interview he goes to, the very first thing they're going to see and question is the Florida tattoo. Yeah.
It's literally like, can I touch it? Like, it's right there.
You know the scene in Austin Powers Goldmember? The guy who has the mole?
Yeah.
Moly, 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 moly. Yeah. It is that, except with Florida on his forehead. Is anybody more proud of their home state than that guy?
I
Nope.
can't say it. I can't say.
No.
I can't think of anybody else.
Nope.
So,
I love Pennsylvania, but not that much.
no, I do not want. Pennsylvania is a big state too. I do not want that on my forehead.
It's very square or
Yeah,
rectangular.
rectangle.
It would, yeah. What's
Yeah.
the weirdest state to get tattooed to a forehead? I think. What do you think would be the weirdest one? I mean, I think Florida because the way it's shaped.
Florida's pretty weird. California,
Michigan.
California would be weird because it's like
It's
a
very
ball,
long.
and then
Yeah.
it juts out.
No, Michigan.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, because they got
Michigan.
all those like Great Lakes and stuff.
Yeah, and it's split in half.
Ugh, yeah, that would not be good.
That'd be a weird one.
Yeah. Ugh. Oklahoma.
Alaska. Oh, Oklahoma. I was gonna say Alaska.
Oklahoma, you have to get the box, and then you have to get that little dinky panhandle that goes the other half of your head.
You're literally making yourself a unibrow, and then like it has like a little hat on it.
Yeah. Ugh.
What about Alaska? You have that whole chain of islands coming off
Yeah.
the side. It's gonna like go around the side of your head almost.
Ugh. Yeah.
This is the dumbest conversation we've ever had in in 8 years of podcast. I think it's safe to say that talking about the weirdest state to tattoo to your forehead, probably the dumbest thing we've ever talked about.
It's 2021, man.
And we were like,
Sense.
actually analyzing. You're like, oh yeah, and the islands, and we're like, yeah, that makes sense. There's something fundamentally broken with us, Rich, in 2021.
It's 2021. Nothing makes sense anymore. It's
The
that
pandemic-
simple.
The pandemic's gone on too long, Rich. We've hit a breaking point.
Yeah. All right.
Next week we're both going to show up with states tattooed to our foreheads.
Dear God. Oh yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast live. We're doing this one live.
That's right.
Were you not expecting that one?
I
See, that's how you know we're live. You don't know what's coming at you.
never expect anything you're going to do.
There you go.
I just learn to live with it.
I just put up with them all
You ju-
this
you-
time.
No, you just gotta embrace it. You just gotta embrace it.
Well, thank
We're
you.
all just along for the ride. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you. Well, let's keep the ride going then. We're done the sports sampler, so let's move into the next topic. It's time for some interesting entertainment entree news.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, and to let you guys know what's coming up this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, for interesting plays that you can do for entertainment, it's time for Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mike, you're going to let us know what we should keep an eye out for.
That's right. And I am happy to say that this Memorial Day weekend, you'll finally be able to head back to theaters and see something new, A Quiet Place Part 2. finally hits theaters this Friday, May 28th. This marks perhaps the first return to normal movie theaters during the past year and a half of the pandemic. So obviously a hotly anticipated sequel to John Krasinski's breakout hit from 2018. It was delayed 3 times and then eventually moved up to release this Memorial Day weekend. So I'm really excited to go see this. I loved A Quiet Place, the first part. It's a fantastic, I don't know, have you seen the movie?
I have not.
Oh, it's
I missed the boat on this.
It's fantastic. It's a great sci-fi horror film. There's these blind aliens that have super sensitive hearing.
Yeah.
So it uses lack of sound and sign language to really ratchet up the suspension, the suspense and the tension, and really puts you on the edge of your seat because you don't realize how much sound plays a part in film until it's removed.
Yep.
And you're just sitting there in that silence. So eerie, so great. It's a very tense, heart-pounding movie. I can't wait for the second one. I really hope that it captures some of that magic again. So go check out A Quiet Place Part 2 in theaters this weekend. But next up in television, I'm so excited for this. Hashtag Rugrats reboot. That's right. The Rugrats are coming to Paramount Plus. It's officially back in full terrifying CG glory. If anybody's seen the promo trailers, it looks really weird.
I can't believe Rugrats is coming back.
I'm excited. I'm going to watch it. It's coming back this Thursday, May 27th on Paramount Plus. The original creators and the voice actors for the babies are all returning for the revival series.
Oh, wow. You got to get the original babies back.
You got to get the original babies back, the voice actors for the babies. It will reportedly have 26 episodes in this revival season. Hopefully it goes well, and we'll have more Rugrats.
Wow. There you go. It's happening, folks.
Yeah.
The Rugrats reboot.
The Rugrats reboot. Come on, Rich.
Oh, boy.
Come on, Rich.
This is
You had to have watched some Rugrats back in the day.
I did. I actually did like Rugrats, watching them as a Nickelodeon cartoon.
You're not. Well, you don't have Paramount Plus, do you?
No, I don't have Paramount Plus, and this isn't gonna lure
It's
me.
not
to
gonna lure you
buy
back.
Paramount Plus.
I gotta say, I saw an interesting article that suggested that Paramount Plus having all the Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network stuff is they don't have Cartoon Network, HBO Max does, but all the Nickelodeon stuff is a huge draw for them because they're really tapping into our generation's nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, I'm all there for the Rugrats and Hey Arnold. You know,
I know you're there for Doug.
What gives that away?
Because you've been like
humming it
ever since we had that story last week about a Mr. Funny. You've been humming the Doug theme.
It's fantastic.
You were doing that while we were setting up the equipment. I was just like,
How much was I doing it?
A lot. Like like you were doing it like 5 different times. I was like, okay. The fifth time is a little too much. I can't handle the Doug music that much.
Because Rich has never done anything annoying. I'm done. Good night.
All right. There you go. You're lucky you're my best friend because I'll let that one slide because I have done that. I've done a lot of things annoying.
I'm done. I don't think I could come back from that. Oh man,
good one.
Thank you. But no, the humming the dog was admittedly annoying. So we got to get off of that. We got to get back to the actual news. Let's reel it back in.
Yeah.
Because this is actually a really important story that we got to talk about right now. This broke actually today, the day of recording.
Yeah.
So it's still information still coming out, but apparently Amazon, Jeff Bezos, the Bond villain himself, is buying Bond.
That's a good point. Yeah,
he's buying Bond. That's right. Amazon is buying massive Hollywood studio MGM for $8.45 billion. That's $8.5 billion.
He does sound like a Bond villain for trying to buy the Bond franchise,
right?
Yeah, that is interesting. I never thought of it like that.
I mean, people always joke he's like a Bond villain, and I mean, he's basically mustachio twirling his way to a multimedia conglomerate. So this sort of continues on from the story a week ago where we talk about that consolidation of media in America, right?
Yeah.
So now Amazon buying MGM, it's just, again, further narrowing the amount of distribution and studios we have because Amazon is now playing both roles. They are producer and distributor, so just a few less options in terms of studios, right? This is a big acquisition. MGM, of course, home to franchises like James Bond, Rocky, RoboCop, The Hobbit, which is big because Amazon has an upcoming Lord of the Rings series. But also, get this, MGM also is responsible for putting out The Handmaid's Tale, which is a Hulu
Yeah, how will that
exclusive
How will the
show?
rights to that work?
I don't know. But it's clear that Amazon is really loading up the big guns for this war that we see going on. Now, these streaming giants are just acquiring properties left and right. We saw, last week, Discovery and Warner Brothers merge. Amazon buying up MGM. Disney, of course, acquiring Fox last year. And
they're all gobbling up each other.
And we made the point it's not slowing down. I forget if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We made the point it's not slowing down, and here we go.
Right.
Proof is in the pudding right here. So what do you make of this? Does this concern you as much as the Warner Brothers and Discovery merger? I mean, it's along the same lines.
So yeah, on the general concept of this war on streaming, and how many streaming apps are you going to need? And monopolies in the streaming world, yes, that it does concern me that they're all just buying up each other, and sooner or later you're going to have a monopoly on streaming media. It's gonna happen. They're buying each other up at such a rapid and expensive pace too. I mean, $8.45 billion. That's
these are not small deals. I mean, we talked about the merger of Warner Media and Discovery. And, that was a big deal. Disney spent $71 billion on Fox. Amazon spending $8.5 billion on MGM. Some commenters online were saying MGM was in trouble anyway. They were struggling to keep the doors open. So they were either going to close or, and you know what, to be honest, and this is where the analysis of their content library comes in. I read off the properties. Bond, Rocky, RoboCop, these are old properties.
Yeah.
They don't really do a lot of, and The Hobbit too. I mean, that's newer in terms of film, but I mean, it's based on a book that was released in the 1930s. So MGM, they're classic, but maybe classic to a detriment now that they need to be saved by this Bond villain corporation.
Yeah. So I can understand that argument for the Rocky franchise and RoboCop because they're not going to release a new. I mean, unless you count Creed, but I mean, even Creed, they're only going to do one more Creed movie, and I think that's pretty much going to be it for that lineage.
Right.
Although I think we may need Bob Kaplan back on the show because he loves RoboCop and he would defend.
He would be sitting here defending it right now.
Yeah, if he was sitting over,
he'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, if he was sitting in the comfy chair, he would be. I'm sure he would defend RoboCop as a excellent property to own. So I can understand that argument that these do kind of seem too vintage to make a stream of money in the future. I mean, you'll always get residues, from the whatever the streaming arrangement is and other loyalties and stuff like that. Bond though is different because
Bond continues to put out stuff.
They're gonna the way the Bond franchise is set up. They're gonna keep punching new Bond movies. It's going to keep happening. So that is really, I think, the crown jewel in this is, you can keep going to the theater with that and just print money. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
I think the two big gets here for Amazon are Bond, because that is semi-annualized. Every 2-3 years you get a new Bond movie. I know you hate to hear it, but The Hobbit, because again, Amazon sunk a lot of money into that Lord of the Rings series. Now they own The Hobbit too. They're like fantastic. They have their own cinematic universe. The Lord of the Rings cinematic universe now.
So so you have to excuse me as a non-Lord of the Rings fan.
I will educate.
Is there any more properties besides The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings that are set in that universe?
How much time do we have? No. So the Silmarillion is a book. I don't know if the Silmarillion is included in, where the rights to that fall, but the Silmarillion is basically the lore book that dictates the entire world and lore
isn't that like a more like a...
It's like a catechism or a Bible where it tells the story of the entire world and universe. But here's the thing. There are stories, there's legends within the Silmarillion that you can take and spin off. And also, let's keep in mind that The Lord of the Rings were 3, several 100-page books. It wasn't like The Hobbit, one 250-page book. I mean, we're looking at, 1,500 pages of, actually, I think more than that, of text that the movies, while long, didn't include all of it. So there's definitely stories to be told. All those side characters have fully fleshed out backstories, and I know this sounds
Alright.
dreadfully boring to you,
Yeah,
but
then,
it is.
Then that's a property.
It is
that's a future
it is
property.
very much like Star Wars or Game of Thrones, where there's a wealth of content that they can dig into here and make spin-offs and spin-offs of spin-offs.
So you do have a future revenue with that.
And the fact that they sunk billions of dollars into the Lord of the Rings series already, this is clearly something that they see potential for. They saw the success of Game of Thrones. They saw how it faltered near the end, and they're thinking, maybe we can take a beloved, time-tested franchise and tap into that. So I'm really excited for that. I also think another sneaky big get here is The Handmaid's Tale.
I didn't know that.
I don't know, because I don't know how this happens now. Does The Handmaid's Tale go to Amazon? There's probably already previous deals in place with Hulu where they can't just swap streaming services. But now you're basically making money off of The Handmaid's Tale on another streaming service, which is interesting. So Amazon continuing to swallow up everything in its path. And us as consumers, this is actually, until it becomes bad, this is great for us because
look, so on the flip side of what I said earlier, as a Bond fan, if that means that all these films go to Amazon Prime, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with that.
And this was sort of my reaction to Warner Brothers and Discovery is that the more these companies sort of eat each other and add to their streaming portfolio, the better it becomes for us as consumers. Now, the problem is when eventually you get to the duopoly stage. Or
when there's only two.
Yeah, where there's only like 3 or 4, big companies, then you start to see what happens with, service providers where the prices start to steadily increase because there's no competition.
Yeah.
Right? So it's one of those things where it's like right now, great for the consumer. However, it is a little concerning.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I love having all the streaming services because there's basically not a movie or TV show that I can't watch right now online.
Well, if Jeff Bezos gets all the Bond movies on Amazon Prime, I'll be happy because I have Amazon Prime.
See, there you go.
There you go.
And that's why they keep doing it, because people like us are like just rubbing our hands together. It's like, that's right. Give me
Can
more.
watch all 25 Bond movies. Here we go.
Do you think this is the kick in the butt that the next Bond movie needs to get released?
Well, they need to. Oh my God, you had to mention that. They have to release that movie on time. Finally, it's been delayed like 3 different times.
Amazon has a massive streaming service that they would love to bring more people to. Could we see maybe a digital release of Bond like so many other movies I've seen during the pandemic?
Yeah, but I think,
or maybe in tandem, because Amazon wants to. But this is Amazon and Netflix MO. They want to get day and date release with theaters.
Yeah, but No Time to Die. See, I don't know when like everything takes effect. Like what's the date that like everything takes effect? Because the whole point of this was they want this in the theater so they can get a box office release and a box office revenue from this. So I don't know if that takes precedence over the buyout from Amazon. So
yeah,
that's where I don't know.
There also
That's
might
up
be
to them.
deals in place with theaters already.
Yeah,
so you're
I
right.
would have to imagine that that's in place too. So
It'll
I
be
don't
interesting, though. Amazon now has more bargaining power when they go to theaters. They say, we want to release this day and date with our streaming service. Because as these streaming services continue to buy up studios, they basically have more say over, availability in theaters.
Mhm.
Theaters might just have to go along with it. Again, another unintended side effect of this
this new world of streaming.
This constant buyout and the streaming war, yeah.
Yep.
So interesting stuff.
Yep. So we also have another development. This is not in the movie world, but this is in the video game world, and this is something that is near and dear to both of our hearts. This is something that we have played when we were in high school. Oh my God, I'm so glad this is back. Time Splitters.
Yeah, it's time to split.
Right. Whatever.
Yeah, it's time to split with Time Splitters. This was one of my favorite video game franchises on the PlayStation 2.
Oh, man.
I can't believe it's been that long.
2005 was the
my God.
last game. Time Splitters Future Perfect came out in 2005. It's been 16 years. But we're getting word now from the video game industry that the original developer is being reformed. They're bringing back the original development team. They're remaking that studio.
By the way, they also did GoldenEye too.
Yeah, they have
they've got a good track record.
They have a very good track record, and at the time,
Perfect Dark. I forgot about the Perfect Dark too.
And
this is. I mean, if you're telling me this is the original team, everybody should be excited.
Yeah, and here's the thing that people don't realize: that Time Splitters back in the day was a very popular, well-received franchise. So
we loved it.
I mean, we
played,
personally loved it.
We played Time Splitters 2 and 3. I think an ungodly amount of hours.
We put a lot of time. Into Time Splitters 3. Like a lot of time. And I'm just looking at some of the reviews here. I mean, it's got solid mid-80s on Metacritic. Like, it wasn't like a cult classic. It was a well-reviewed, well-received game that lots of people played and well ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It had full story co-op. It had local multiplayer, I think up to 8 players. It had online multiplayer as well. It had a full map maker mode where you could upload maps. I mean, we didn't take part in that because, again, PlayStation 2 era, nobody had the network adapter add-on, but it was well ahead of its time. This is the perfect game for an era of video games that loves online multiplayer, that loves sharing content, that loves content creation. This is like, I can't believe they haven't thought about revisiting this franchise until now.
Yeah. I can't believe it took them to PlayStation 5 to get together for this.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. You make a level, you hit that share button, you create a video of it or a photo of it, you upload it to, a Little Big Planet style, every user can upload their levels and everybody can browse them and play them. It's right there.
It's built for this generation.
And now with the power of the consoles, you can make an even more elaborate set of levels, and you won't be restricted to just 20 doors in a single hallway. Nobody's going to get that joke except for us.
No, yeah, that was my calling card. I made a level. It was like a game show level where
fantastic.
You walked down a hallway and you got into a room with 20 doors, and good luck, because a door either had a weapon that you could use or an enemy.
Or a strobing light.
Or
it was empty. I mean, it was always something fun and interesting.
Yeah, that's it.
We called it the door level, and we played a stupid amount of time in that game.
Yeah, we played that level nonstop.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited for this. And I really hope that this doesn't go the way as some other reboots and, it's kind of like half-hearted and half-assed. I'm excited that it's the original developers. Whenever an original developer comes back and they take, their baby back under their wings, they tend to treat it with a little bit of care and respect. I just really hope it has local multiplayer.
It will. It's got to.
I mean, that was the legacy.
It's got to.
Right?
They grew up on local multiplayer. If it's the original team, they're
between GoldenEye and Time Splitters, that was their bread and butter. You get a bunch of friends around the couch. You look at those little, 4 quadrants on the screen.
Yeah. They'll have it. Don't worry. But very excited to hear that news that a new Time Splitters is in development. Wow, that's.
I saw that headline. I was like, this is going straight on the rundown because I knew we had to talk about it.
Yep, that warms my heart. Something else that warms my heart is our final segment of the show. I've got some odd news for you, so let's load up the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda bastards. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo! Odd news time.
That's right, folks. It's time for the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story, keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing the story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. Even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because we always walk down wacky and wild paths. And Rich, I'm ready to be taken on a journey. Take us by the hand, lead us. Where are we going now in the world of odd news?
Boy, that's not good if I'm the one that's leading the group.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, it's not good.
But I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so I have a story here that actually goes back to sports. It's interesting when we got an odd news story that goes back into either sports or entertainment. So this one kind of doubles.
Okay.
It could have been a sports topic, but I chose to label this an odd news because this is pretty odd.
Okay.
That is because a correspondence between Mickey Mantle and the New York Yankees was officially verified that it was indeed written by Mickey Mantle. Now, that's the headline of the story, and right on its own, that doesn't sound very interesting, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. Well, let's delve more into this communique.
Okay.
Because on the surface, that doesn't sound very odd or very exciting.
Right.
But let's go into the backstory behind this letter from 1972.
Okay.
Apparently, it was the 50th anniversary of Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And as a part of a legacy to honor the stadium, the New York Yankees sent out letters asking legends to write down, quote, outstanding events that they remember happened at the ballpark.
Okay.
Quote, unquote, outstanding events.
Okay.
Okay? So...
Sounds like a good way to commemorate it, yeah.
Right. So, as a result, Mickey Mantle apparently took this letter and filled out the form, and it was verified that this was indeed Mickey Mantle's handwriting that he sent back to the New York Yankees organization.
Okay.
Are you ready for me to read what he sent back to the New York Yankees in 1972?
Sure.
All right. Well,
I'm
here we go.
very concerned right now.
For our Facebook live feed, you're going to see the actual letter. So it says, quote, I consider the following my outstanding experience at Yankee Stadium. Mickey Mantle wrote, quote, I got a blowjob under the right field bleachers by the Yankee bullpen.
I'd buy that for $1.
And it is legit. It was
Wow.
verified that Mickey Mantle actually wrote this.
That's amazing.
They matched up the handwriting. It is legit.
I got a blowjob under... What did he say?
The right field bleachers by the Yankee bullpen.
By the Yankee bullpen? Oh, my God.
Yes.
What a crass old man.
What? Boy. I'll tell you what, that is an outstanding experience.
That would be an outstanding experience.
That's a pretty good experience as far as I'm concerned.
So he did not care at all.
No, he did not.
He was just like, whatever, this is stupid.
Yeah, this is a stupid thing you're asking me to do.
Wow.
Here you go, take that. So, just a little bit more background behind it.
We need background on the blowjob?
Well, not on the not on the blowjob, but why he exactly did this. So apparently, he apparently didn't like the Yankees' straight-laced PR chief at the time, Bob Fischel.
Okay.
So when he got this letter, he decided that he was going to try and shock the public relations chief.
Okay. I mean, that would do the trick.
Yeah, boy, that will do it. He also sent a following loose leaf paper to describe more because on the PS note, it said, if you would like, please give as much detail as you can.
Oh, God.
So,
oh, no.
So at this point, I'm going to try and
paraphrase
because, yeah, this
How vulgar did it get?
This gets pretty graphic.
Oh, wow.
Quote on the loose leaf paper, it happened around the third or the fourth inning.
Wait. This was during a game?
I think he's making this story up. I don't think this actually happened.
Okay.
But he's trying to shock.
He's going for shock and awe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it would be interesting if maybe this did happen.
Yeah, right.
So he, on the event on the sheet where he gives more detail, it was about the 3rd or 4th inning. I had a pulled groin, so I couldn't actually have sex at the time. She was a very nice girl.
Pulled groin. Somebody was pulling his groin. I don't know.
Yeah. Good one, Mike. So she then said, "What do I do afterwards?" And I said, "Don't ask me." That's all I can say because it gets in the graphic detail.
Oh my gosh. She said, "What do I do now?"
Afterwards.
Afterwards. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you can connect the dots on that, but I can't go into graphic detail as to what we're talking about.
Oh my God.
Biographer Jane Levy, who is an expert on Mickey Mantle, also confirms the story, saying that she wrote about it, that in 1973, the Yankees were celebrating the 50th anniversary of the house that Ruth built, and that this was a questionnaire that the Yankees Public Relations Department sent to former players. Instead of the outstanding story that Mickey Mantle submitted, instead they substituted the 9th inning home run that won Game 3 of the 1964 World Series instead.
Boring.
Yeah, pretty boring compared to that one.
Yeah, right? Blowjob under the bleachers in the middle of a game, supposedly.
Yeah. The document then went to Barry Halper, who was a minority team owner and a collector of Yankees memorabilia. When he sold his vast collection, he made more than $30 million. Wow. So he had a lot of Yankees collection.
Damn.
That was part of it. And it is confirmed that it was Mickey Mantle with his impeccable Palmer method penmanship. I don't know. Apparently that's the style of his...
Okay.
I don't know. This is where it gets beyond my
it gets
expertise.
technical into handwriting.
Yeah, but it was confirmed that it was Mickey Mantle's handwriting, and it was a classic example of locker room crude humor. So
Well,
there you go.
I was hoping the biographer would have been like, no, that story, not that he wrote the note, but the actual story behind the note.
Well, I mean... You can't say that it also didn't happen.
Exactly, right? I mean, look, a professional sports player, she's very popular,
Look, she was a nice girl.
She was a nice girl.
Very nice girl.
Yeah.
Hanging out by the Yankee bleachers. Very nice girl.
That's where all the nice girls hang out, is under the bleachers.
During the 3rd and 4th innings.
3rd or 4th
Specifically
inning.
the 3rd or 4th inning.
He just comes off the field, he pulled his groin. He's like,
I love that part too. Yeah. I couldn't get the job done that way, so we had to do the old-fashioned, another old-fashioned way to take care of the problem. Pulled my groin.
I was, he just couldn't perform.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there you go. Apparently, if you think the current generation has crude humor, apparently it goes all the way back to a couple generations ago. Mickey Mantle.
I just love how much disdain he had for like the 50th anniversary celebration. Like this note, the PR was like, "Oh, this will be so sweet. We'll get all of our legends to write in and talk about their favorite moments." And he's just like, "Nah,
oral sex."
He's like, "Watch this." He's like, "Watch this, guys."
I'm going to write about a BJ.
There
Take
you go.
that.
I mean, look, that's a pretty outstanding moment there for him. You know. And he probably hit he had a lot of great hits, a lot of great moments on the field, but in terms of that stadium, that's probably one of the most unique highlights for him.
Yep.
So
here's what we do know. That piece of paper that was in that collection of $30 million Yankees memorabilia is legit. He did write it.
Right.
So that is official. Then
obviously the story
at this point, it's up to you if you want to believe the story that he actually did it, but
that's pretty funny.
That's just he really wanted to stick it to that PR guy.
Yeah, right?
Take that. You're so uptight. Here, take this.
He really disliked that dude.
Yeah. I'm going to fill out this official Yankees questionnaire.
You know what though?
It is an outstanding event.
It is an outstanding event.
I'll tell you that.
And
that's one hell of an outstanding event. I salute you, Mickey Mantle.
And I wonder if it is true, because I feel like if he wanted to shock the PR guy, he could have written something really deviant and grotesque, you know. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's fairly tame. I mean, it's not tame, but it's, you know.
By Yankee standards, that's pretty wild.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
the Yankees were always like a clear, you know.
But he could have written something really like.
Yeah, but
out
still, I mean, the Yankees, you know, you gotta have your. You can't have a beard if you're a Yankee.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're an uptight organization. Oh yeah. You got to have a short haircut.
That's stupid.
Remember Johnny Damon when he went to the Yankees? He had to cut his beard off and he had to cut his hair.
I don't follow baseball.
Well, how about this? Will you follow baseball now? If people are getting, BJ's out on the right field line.
Yeah.
Take some of that chalk. I don't know what you do with the chalk, but
take some of that chalk.
What? Because you're on the right field line. I don't know what you do with.
You grab your chalk. You're like, all right, let's go. BJ time. Like, what are you doing with the chalk?
You know, in case it gets too sweaty out there. You know, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right then.
What else do you do out on the right field line?
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I just said I don't watch baseball. I have no idea. Apparently something else is going on in baseball though.
So
wow. There you go. Mickey Mantle getting BJ's.
Hey.
Honoring the stadium by recounting the BJ.
Honoring the stadium. There
it's
you
like,
go.
God bless Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, there you
You've
go.
always been a friend to me.
That's what I think about New York. There you go. The house that Ruth built. Thank you.
I don't know why we're both doing the salute thing. Mickey Mantle's just like, God bless. Godspeed. More blowjobs.
There you go. So if you are interested in the full story, I think you can Google it and find the letter yourself. Because there are some more lewd details that he goes into that I can't
I kind of want
mention.
to find out the rest of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't. It would be too explicit for our PG-13 podcast. So, but there you go. It is legit though. A expert in handwriting verified that the letter is legit, and he did write it. So that's what we know, and that is what I have for you this week in the non-fortune cookie odd news, mixing odd news and sports together. Why not?
I always like it when there's a crossover.
Yeah.
Gotta love those crossover events.
Yep. But speaking of events happen and then they end. And unfortunately, we are coming up to our hour. So it is time to start wrapping up this episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Man, we went through the gauntlet, I think. We had a lot of news topics to get to.
It was a packed episode, but I think a great episode, as they all are, of course.
Yep. And we want to thank you guys on Facebook Live for joining us as we did this show live this week. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you are following us on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole shebang-a-bang. Maybe find us in right field sometime soon.
Well, if you can't find us in right field, you can always find us on YouTube, where you got the video version of the podcast. You can also, of course, subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, and Amazon devices. So make sure you search for, download, and subscribe to the Crispy Noodle Podcast on either YouTube or the podcast service of your choice.
That's right. We also have a SoundCloud page where you have mini noodles, the best bits of the show shrunk down to a quick 1-minute audio clip that you can easily listen to with friends and family. The craziness that is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
And boy, do we like to get crazy out there in right field.
Yeah, right out there in right field.
But if you want to get in touch with us individually, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. You can find us on Twitter. Communicate with us what you're doing, what you're up to for Memorial Day weekend. If you're watching the Rugrats reboot, let us know. Or if you have an odd news story that you want us to talk about on next week's show, let us know. And we'll give you a Crispy Noodle shout-out if we mention that or any other topic on future episodes. We'll let you know and give you a Crispy Noodle shout-out for your troubles.
The coveted Crispy Noodle shout-out.
That's right.
There you go. And that does wrap it up, Rich.
Yeah, sports, entertainment, odd news, and an hour and change podcast. That is our job, to give you some of those interesting tidbits in those worlds. But for right now, it's time to start wrapping this week's episode up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. I think that will do it. Mike, you have anything else?
No, I'm good over here. Everybody enjoy your long weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Make sure you enjoy and celebrate the Memorial Day weekend. But for right now, that will do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.